So, the big question is this movie a worthy sequel? And if this movie is even good? And the answer to those questions depend on different people depending on who you ask. But since you clicked on this video, let me share my thoughts. I think this movie is totally fine. I really enjoyed watching this movie. Do I think it's better than the first movie? No. But it doesn't mean that it's a bad movie. In fact, this movie is really fun. The one thing that I didn't like about this movie is the character regression. They basically go from hero to zero again. Considering the first movie, these guys were the heroes, like the hero cops. But it seems like to make the second movie a bit more interesting, their character growth has regressed a bit. Their fellow cops in this police department, like they hate Judy and Nick with a passion. Like they're jealous of them. Like I can see the jealousy point of view, but like what's the deal with hating? Like these guys saved the entire goddamn Zootopia. What's your problem? The police chief is better. He still gives them a hard time, but on one-on-one time, like he's chill, like he's like, yeah, I know you guys are great, but you need to take it down a notch. So in that point of view, yeah, he's still there, but yeah, I do also kind of find it funny that at one point in the movie, the police chief gets stung by poison or whatever, and then he has to be rushed off to the hospital, and he's just gone from the entire movie. Like we do not see this guy again ever. I was kind of hoping that he would come back later to explain to his underling police officers that it was all a misunderstanding, that Judy and Nick didn't poison him, but that didn't really end up happening. He was just like, adios, I'm out. And it also feels a bit weird that the fellow cops hate Judy and Nick for no reason, but by the end of this movie, it's like by divine intervention, their minds just simply change about Judy and Nick, and they're like, okay, maybe we need to help Judy and Nick. Like nothing of significance happens that kind of changes their perspective. It's like they just magically change their opinion of Judy and Nick, and that's it. Now we can talk about the villains of this movie, which are the Lynxes. Like we know they're the villains, but particularly the one Lynx that Judy ends up befriending. Again, I forgot his name, so forgive me. But he is kind of a chill dude, and he ends up becoming a twist villain. And in the back of my mind, I was going like, hey, like this guy's really chill. What if he's the villain? And I was like, no, Disney isn't gonna do that. And I kind of regressed that part at that thought that I had. And then, he ends up betraying Judy. And I was like, why? And it's like, maybe I'm just biased against Disney's twist villains. I've been burnt. I've started to hate Disney doing twist villains. It's kind of an overdone one-trick pony that Disney has. And it's getting really annoying. I don't know if that bias is the reason why I hate the twist villain in this movie, or maybe it's like objectively bad, or maybe it works. But let me know what you think. Like, did the twist villain work for you? For me, it was just fine. I didn't entirely hate it, but at the same time, I was like, nah, man, like this is just, they're doing this thing again. And it feels like they will keep doing this thing in their movies over and over again until maybe one time it will actually be appropriate and it will work. But let me know if this is that appropriate time where the twist villain actually worked. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Wait, not this one. I'm talking about these two guys. Like if you watch this movie, you're watching it as an adult like me. And I'm like, what's their deal? Are they... like it feels weird. This is a children's movie, but are they a couple? There's like that one point in the movie where Judy and Nick are giving speeches to one another. And Nick even goes and says like, I love you. And it's like, are you going to kiss? Like, god damn it, just have them kiss. Like, I know Judy's a rabbit. Nick is a fox. This world doesn't care about interspecies couple. I don't think that this movie implied that, but I think these guys are chill with it. So they can definitely be a couple. But I'm like, that was a good moment for them to kiss. Is this not okay for them to kiss? Because I know this is a children's movie. I've watched Tangled and they kiss, but like, Is this too much? Is this where we draw the line that a fox and a rabbit that can't kiss? That was such a great moment, and I don't know, like, am I weird for thinking that? Like, it should have happened. Like, Disney, I think, just acted like a coward. But let me know, should Judy and Nick have kissed? Like, they just act like we're really, really, really good friends, but like, it just ends at friends. Like, you're not. Like, as a child, if you're watching this thing, you're like, oh yeah, they really care about each other. But like, as an adult watching this movie, it's like, what's going on? What's the status of the relationship, man? But the question towards the beginning of this movie, is this a worthy sequel? I don't really know how to answer this question because different people have answered this question differently. So I've heard some people say it's better than the first movie, but personally speaking, I liked the first movie more just because it felt so new and fresh, and obviously the second movie would have a hard time doing things better than the first movie just because making the first movie from scratch and presenting it as a completely new idea is something so refreshing. So I do think I like that aspect about the first movie, that it exists. But other than that, even the political themes, I've heard some people mention that there may have been too many political themes in the first movie. I liked them fine, but let me know what you think about that. The political themes in this movie have been reduced, but I don't really care. I like the movie just fine anyways. I just think that the whole conspiracy aspect in the first movie was far better done. Like, in this movie, you don't really have all those twists and turn. And the twist villain in the Zootopia one, I think kind of worked. Like, it was definitely a curveball, at least for me. You know, I didn't see it coming. With Zootopia 2, it's like, yeah, you kind of see it coming. But yeah, when it comes to the sheer level of creativity and the story, and even I like the song, I Try Everything, from the first movie, I like that. So for me personally, I like the first movie more. But again, it doesn't mean that this movie is bad. I liked it just fine. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And as always, it's time for a goodbye.